Hello and welcome to today's video. This is going to be my 2025 bullet journal flip through. So this is my bullet journal for 2025. It is 100% set up. I've done all of the yearly spreads and I'm going to be flipping through them and talking to you about them. Now I do normally film this as a setup so you can see exactly how it happens, but just to be perfectly honest, I've also done another video this year for my reading journal and that took 12 hours. So if you want to see that very condensed 12 hours, I can link my reading journal video up above it. It'll be in one of these corners and that shows you the actual setup. But because I spent 12 hours at my desk with that one, I decided to do this one more chill and just do it as and when I had time. So that is why this one is already set up and we are just going to do a flip through. So as you can see here, the bullet journal that I went for is an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 and this is the hardback and it is the dot grid that I've gone for. So I will take this off and yeah, that is all of the information on the bullet journal, what type it is. And we're left with this really pretty purple colour. This is the one that I decided to go for. And then I've also added in these tabs down the side. These are really pretty tabs that I just thought went with the colour so well and so nicely. And these tabs are from marigonasuli.com. So yeah, and this is the bigger size that I've used. They come in two sizes and I use the bigger ones for this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There are 4 different sticker and washi tape shops that I'm like 100% confident I've used. I will pop their logos on the screen somewhere, and then I will also have those 4 linked down below. Those are the only ones that I know for definite. Anything that isn't from one of those shops that you see used in here basically means I've had it longer than 3 years and it's just come from a random place, or it's come from the charity shop. I find a lot of very good crafting materials in the charity shops, so there's a chance it came from there and therefore it wouldn't have had tags. But yeah, that will be the stickers and washi tape. And then in terms of pens used, you'll see Crayola Super Tips, Zebra mild liners, Muji fine liners and Stabilo point pens. So these are the 4 different types of pens. I do use it in quite a few different colours, but these are the 4 types. Any more information, if you want to know anything specific, just ask it down below. But most of these I've just got the basic packs for, so it'll just be one of the colours from the basic packs. Okay, so let's get into the actual journal. If we open it up, once I have filmed this video, I won't be showing this page again, I'll put my information here so that if it's ever lost, it gets returned. Moving over, we've then got this awkward page. I do normally glue this down together. I haven't done it yet just in case I've run out of space and decide I want something here, but this will probably just get glued together. And then we go straight into the content page. I do use this. I will probably just say however many pages I used for my yearly setups and just have yearly setups there, and then just January, February, March. I don't go into detail, but I do like an easy overview of where each type of page starts. And then we have our first few pages. So our first page, our second page and our third page just have 2025 stamped on them, and this is a very basic like title page, title setup. I normally do something a lot more in depth, a lot more fun here, but I had an idea where every month I will go through the photos on my phone or on my camera and look through them, and any photos that just make me really happy, make me smile, I'll print them out and stick them on. So throughout the year I've got 3 pages to fill up with little photos that remind me of what I actually have been up to and what I've been doing in 2025. So by the end of the year, the plan is, hopefully, fingers crossed, that these pages will look very different and will be covered in like photos and memories. That is the first few pages. Then we have my yearly overview, year at a glance, monthly setups, however you want to word it. This is what these next pages are. I personally do 6 months per page, and to be perfectly honest, this is now my 3rd year of doing this exact setup where we use some sort of like butterfly or moth, and we use brown paper and the dot grid to distinguish between each of the months. What I'll essentially do, if I had a birthday on January 6th, I would do a colourful dot on January 6th, put that dot down here, and then actually write what that dot means, and that is how I keep a track of everything. So this is the first 6 months of the year, and this is the second 6 months of the year, and this will just get filled out and used throughout the year. As soon as I'm starting this bullet journal, I will go in and add birthdays and any plans we've already agreed to, but then normally this is used throughout the year. So I only set my months up month to month, so if I book something in during January for March or June or September, rather than being able to put them in a monthly calendar that I'll have in the monthly setups, they will go here ready to be added into the monthly calendar once it is made. And yeah, this just works really well for me. It does take up, you know, 2 spreads, but it's just the only way that I've personally found that just keeps me on track and actually works. Then next up we've got 2 half spreads. So over on this side of the page we've got my bucket list 2025. I did a bucket list for 2024 and I just didn't do it very good, honestly. I think I had like 24 things on there or something. It was insane. I don't think I did any of them. So I've narrowed it down to 6. I don't know what 6 these are going to be, but I was like 6 is a good number, 6 is achievable. That's doing 1 thing every 2 months. And I just really like how this has turned out, to be honest. I think it looks really cute, really decent, and yeah, couldn't be happier with it. We've done a lot of layering, a lot of purple and pinks. That definitely is kind of the theme that I've stuck throughout the majority of this, just because of how purple this bullet journal is. And then when I found these and they had the purple and pink throughout, it just kind of made sense. So that's that page. Then over on this page is the quarterly goals. So I don't do yearly goals. Like, I won't sit down at the start of the year and decide I want to achieve this year, but I will sit down and be like, what can I achieve this quarter? Again, this is just the way it works for me. Like, New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions don't work, but quarterly goals do. So I found something that works, so I'll stick with it. And yeah, once again, this is a very basic setup. I used this for the first time last year, and this spacing and this amount of room for each quarter just really worked. I can't put too many goals, and the amount I can put should hopefully be achievable. And again, I just went with purple and pink themes. I really like these 2 cat stickers. I definitely had like an entire cat pack like this and wanted to include them somewhere, so I'm glad I found a space, and that is that. So yeah, really happy. And then again 2 half spreads, but kind of a bit more in common here. I made them look as similar as possible. Over on this side of the page we've got places explored, so when we go somewhere we will put in, you know, where it was, and maybe I'll write something about it, maybe I'll stick a picture in, however I decide to do it. Maybe if I took the train somewhere I could stick my train ticket in. I don't know exactly, but I do like having this page, and I like being able to record where the places I've explored during a year are. So that will be this page. And then over on this side it's just things to check out. So this can be anything I've heard of that I think sounds remotely interesting, but I don't know enough of to like actually do anything with the information right now. I will put it here, and when I have time, when I decide I want to look through this, I will go to the things to check out page and actually look into them further and decide if it's something I'm interested in or not. And that is the very basics of it, but I like how I managed to theme this in with this year, because obviously all you really need is a blank page with loads of space, so managing to get them to look a little bit similar I think worked out really well. Then over here we have a period tracker. I will fill in my key when necessary really. I normally just do lines. I know a lot of people will use like a colour per square, but I just use lines normally. So like a full period will be like a cross or something, and then, you know, it's just less to carry around with you. I don't want to be somewhere that's not at home and have my bullet journal with me and have anything needed that I wouldn't just naturally put in a bag. So that's kind of how I view making keys. There's a couple more of these types of pages later on, and I just keep the keys as simple as possible. This is the first page that we've kind of veered from the pink and purple setup, and we've gone for some yellows and some blacks. Honestly, there's not much reason for this other than I didn't have that many pink and purple butterflies and stickers, so I thought this would be a decent page to put it in for. And yeah, this is basically what you use for any sort of like pixel tracker. So there's lots of different types of trackers that are called like a year in pixels, and I've just found that this setup of just being able to see every day of the month throughout the whole year works best for me for actually tracking and actually doing this throughout the year no matter what I'm tracking. So yeah, that is that one. And then over here we have the cat tracker. So I have 2 cats, and it is very important to me that we keep up to date with all of the stuff they need. So we've got a place for their flea treatments throughout the year, a place for their worming treatments, a place for vet appointments, and then a little box at the bottom which is basically just space left over where if they ever get put on any medications or there's anything other going on with them, I can put it here. And then for the entire year I've got all of this knowledge available with me. If we ever need to run them to the vets, everything I could need is here. So yeah, really nice and simple, works really well. I did this last year for the first time and it really helped me keep on top of the flea and worming. Before having a dedicated page, it was like, oh well, we definitely did it last month, but what exact date was it? Are they due it yet? And trying to figure that out, and just having it here and being like, right, they're due their flea or worming, and being able to look, see the exact date it was given and be like, yes, they're due next week, or no, they're not due for another month. Like it just works really well. So I'm really glad that I went with this setup again. And then we have a financial health half spread. This has been a double spread for a few years now, but I realised I just wasn't really using the space effectively. There's less things that I want to track in terms of financial health, so I figured just having half a page just makes it easier. Right now there's one personal thing I'm saving up for, there's one joint thing we're saving up for, and if anything else comes up throughout the rest of the year, there's still loads of space available. So I did reduce it down to half a spread rather than a full spread. And yeah, this is again pretty simple. For me personally, I want to have 6 months worth of mortgage payments saved up, so if anything ever happened, we've got 6 months we don't need to stress about. And we also want a better emergency fund for the cats or slash pet. Right now we have one we're pretty comfortable with for just the cats, but we would like to get a dog at some point soon, and I think we've kind of figured out how much we want to save before feeling comfortable getting a dog and taking on another responsibility, so we want to track that as well. And my key is just every 2 boxes equals £100, so every singular box is £50. This has always worked well for me. This is something I've done for a long time and it works. If it's not broken, you don't need to fix it, so that's why we'd still stick with this. And then over here is a refresh routine. I definitely have days throughout the year where I'm just overwhelmed and feel stressed and don't know what to do, and this is a page I can go to. Very cringily at the top here, it literally says, having a bad day, let's try some things to make it okay. And these are just things that soothe me, that make me relax, that give me that little bit of me time that I might be needing and not even realising. So I wrote them down, and it's very easy to just be like, will any of these help, and actually use them. I just find having them wrote down somewhere I know exactly where they are just really helps, because when you're in that overwhelmed place, it is not normally a place where you can rationally think of what would help you. So having it here and being able to see it, it really helps me. So I'm really glad that I've kept this page this year as well. Then moving over is a growth goals page. This is pretty simple. I mainly use YouTube, and I've decided in 2025 I want to try and post twice a week. I haven't set myself a schedule yet. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I'm going to choose specific days to post, or if it's just at some point throughout the week there'll be 2 videos. I need to decide that before I film my first video of the year, really, because that's when I normally announce it. So not sure how exactly it's going to be. I will probably figure out 2 days a week that I want to upload and upload on those days. But yeah, so YouTube, I want to do that. And I decided I'd like to try on TikTok and Instagram a bit more properly. I don't really use them that well at the moment, and I definitely think I could be using them better. So I want to try and post 1 TikTok a week and 1 Instagram post a week. These are both things that should hopefully be achievable. I won't be able to know until I've tried it, and this is just a way to track. So all of these individual boxes are 1 week of the year. There's 52 boxes here, 52 boxes here, and there's 52 boxes here, but I've split each one in half. So yeah, that's basically it. Every week I will track if I've managed to do it. So in week 1, if I've uploaded a TikTok and Instagram and 2 YouTubes, I'll be able to colour in these first boxes, so on and so forth. And then over on this side is a bit more of like a growth tracker in terms of numbers of like followers or subscribers. Again, I'm trying to set myself realistic goals this year. So at the bottom here you'll see this first row is easy, this second row is realistic, this third row is hopeful, the 4th row is a push, And 5th row is delusional, but I think it's okay to be a little bit delusional sometimes, so I have kept the delusional one in as well. And yeah, this is basically it. This is what I think is realistic for me, or at least the second column is. I haven't decided the YouTube numbers yet. They are penciled in, but my channel started growing a bit faster during December. It does every year, but I don't want to make the easy one too easy, so I've not penned these in yet, but I will do before the start of the year and be able to keep track of all of them. And basically once I hit them, I will colour in the square, and underneath the square write the day that I actually managed to hit it. I think it'll be quite a nice way and quite a low stress way to track growth and track numbers. I don't really like tracking these sorts of numbers because they're not something I am in control of, but they are something that I do like to see growth and see I'm doing something right. So yeah, this will hopefully be a nice way to do that. Then we have another 2 trackers, and these are actually our last 2 yearly spreads. They're both half a spread, and these are the last things I've set up for the whole year. Over here we've got an exercise tracker. This is something I've tried to do a few times, but I've tried to do it month by month, but it's just not worked. So I figured let's try a yearly one. Let's see if it's more easy to stick to actually tracking this, if I can see it over the whole year. And then over this side it's a sleep tracker, so that I can actually see how much I am sleeping. I don't know exactly how I'm doing this yet. I'm thinking like, basically, is the first any sleep I get during the first, or is it just the night of the first? I don't know. Sometimes I keep like weird hours, like I don't necessarily go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning all the time, just depending on what's going on. So I do need to figure out exactly how this is going to be tracked, exactly what each of these numbers means, but I'm hoping it will help me keep track of it, because there's definitely times that I've crashed badly, and I definitely think it is probably related to the amount of sleep I'm getting. So actually being able to look back at that and confirm that that's the reason why I'm going through a hard time would be amazing. So yeah, these are the final 2 pages: exercise tracker, sleep tracker. I walk and run and gym relatively often, but I figured I'd put swim and bike here as well, just because they are things that I enjoy, I just don't do very often. And then sleep tracker, which goes on 0 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours and 12 plus hours. And I will just do like the closest number. Like if I've slept for 2.5 hours, it'll go in 2 hours. Like I know that's not the most accurate, but it's how I'm going to do it. I think it makes the most sense for me. I think anything more complicated could be overwhelming. So yeah, I guess I can give you a little sneak peek at the next page. This is my January setup. That is how I've decided to do it. I'm not going to be doing setups every month this year, but if I have a month that I'm particularly happy with, particularly inspired by, have a particular theme or a particular set of stickers, or just something that I'm really excited about, I will film a monthly setup, but it won't happen every month. So yeah, that's a little sneak peek of how January's looking. Yeah, those were all of the pages I've set up in this year's bullet journal. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you. I hope it gave you ideas. If you are using any of these spreads, let me know down below. If you have any ways that you do these spreads that you think would be better for me, also let me know down below. Obviously I won't be able to implement that till next year, but I am always looking to improve this. But I also don't want to make it too complicated, and I think so far this works for me, but I guess we'll wait and see over the year if I actually use all of these that I've set up. But yeah, that is the end of the video. That was a flip through of all of the yearly setups. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a like, subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!